The program is about to begin. Please direct your attention towards the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of our colors by the Kenmore Garfield Army Junior ROTC Color Guard, and then remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Progressive Commercial Lines Customer Care Supervisor Scott Redford.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everyone, please be seated. So good morning. I'm Wanda Shippey, Social Responsibility Manager at Progressive Insurance. Welcome to our 7th annual Keys to Progress Vehicle Giveaway event. A special thank you again to Scott Redford and to the Kenmore Garfield Color Guard for making that such a great introduction to this ceremony. Once we gift more than 100 vehicles today in different locations, about 60 locations across the country, we will have donated more than 700 cars to veterans and their families since 2013. So we're happy to be able to give these veterans keys to a better future. To kick off this year's presentation, I'm excited to be able to welcome Progressive Claims President Mike Seeger to the podium.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today. As Wanda noted, my name is Mike Seeger, and I'm the claims president. I've been at Progressive almost 30 years, and I've attended many events in many places over those years, but none compares to how special this day is. On or around Veterans Day for the past 7 years, I get to observe the pride, passion, the energy, and the generosity of our Progressive people and our partners. It's truly a great day and one that makes me extremely proud to work at Progressive. It takes a ton of work to get to this day, and I want to personally thank each and every employee in claims and across the company who make this day possible for all of us. The teams that work on Keys to Progress donate their time and resource above and beyond their day jobs. That is not easy, and it is much appreciated. Every year, a core team of claims leaders and others across the company work together to guide the many local teams on every aspect of the program, from vehicle identification, acquisition, repair, and titling, to recipient selection, fundraising, and event planning. This year, that team was led by CJ Cabana. CJ is one of our claim directors down in Texas. CJ is also an Air Force veteran himself, and I got to see CJ just a few weeks ago, and he was really excited about this day and looking forward to crossing the finish line. Congratulations to CJ and the entire team for a job well done and another successful Keys to Progress. Our Keys to Progress program has its roots in the National Auto Body Council's Recycled Rides program. Claims began working with the NABC and its member repairers back in 2008 to repair and donate vehicles to people in need. Our people loved being able to give back to their own communities so much that in 2013, we decided to sponsor our own vehicle giveaway program focused on veterans in need. We called it, of course, Keys to Progress, and the rest is history. It's become a company-wide initiative, and we've helped hundreds of veterans over those years. The veteran population is very important to Progressive. In fact, we employ more than 1,500 veterans across Progressive today, some of whom walked in behind the color guard this morning and are members of our military network of employees. We are proud to support veterans at Progressive. If you're a veteran in our audience, will you please stand? Let's give them a hand and thank them for their service. Thank you all. I look forward to meeting the recipients we have here today and thanking them personally for all they've done for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. So as he indicated, what started as a small effort in our claims organization several years ago, it now involves thousands of people inside and outside of the organization to make this happen every year. We've had people ask in the past, well, exactly how does the Keys to Progress program work? So we thought we would spend just a few minutes this morning explaining and highlighting many of those people who are part of this program. So the way it starts, actually, is us being able to have our local claims folks working with a national salvage team to identify the vehicles. So the whole process starts with finding those vehicles. And believe it or not, this process can start as early as January for us to find the right vehicles to make the donations. And then some of those vehicles are also donated each year by two of our national salvage partners, Insurance Auto Auctions and Copart. So we're thankful for everything they do in the program. And then the next thing is, once we have the vehicles, we identify body shops to repair those vehicles. So that's the next step in the process. And as Mike said, these are members of the National Auto Body Council, and so they refurbish the vehicles and prepare them for the recipients. What you might not know is that the body shops, they do this in all these 60-plus locations on their own time. So they donate hundreds of hours of free labor and parts in order to refurbish these vehicles. And they also do this outside of their regular shop hours. So they work this into their day-to-day jobs, just like many others do. And they do that because it's important to them to give back to veterans. At this time, I'd actually like to ask Progressive Claims Managed Repair Representative Rachel Glovna to come up to offer a special thank you to the local shops and parts groups who are part of the vehicles that we are donating today.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for attending today. I am honored to be part of our 7th annual Keys to Progress event. I would like to start by thanking our shop partners that refurbished the recipient vehicles for us this year. Can each of you please stand for a brief moment when mentioned? We'd like to say thank you to Tony Perino, Bill Turk, Scott Tiffin, Patty Crouch, and the rest of the crew at Action Car Star in Euclid. Thank you to Bill Collins and the staff of Excalibur Collision in Chagrin Falls. We'd also like to thank Ryan Serpentini, Steve Klinger, and Jesse Magrill, Jim Pease of Serpentini Collision and Montrose Collision. Each of these shops have played an essential part in making this event happen. They've spent countless hours restoring the vehicles, taking the vehicles for highway inspections, and completing other various tasks to have these cars looking brand new. We truly appreciate all your contributions. We'd also like to thank the vendors on the screen behind me that donated parts, paint, material, and labor. I'd personally like to thank the veteran recipients of these vehicles, who you will soon meet, for their service to our country. You're the reason we're here today, and we thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. So we talked about the first steps of the process. So first we find the vehicles, then we find the shops who work on those vehicles. The next step is to choose the veteran recipients. So beginning in May, we have a team of employees that are led by Navy veteran and Progressive Claims senior trainer Alex Rushner, who work with charities across the country to identify the veterans that are in need of vehicles. Most of these veterans are actually sponsored by charities, so we work with hundreds of charities to identify them. And this year alone, we looked at more than 300 applications to find our veterans. As part of this process, we pair up with VRC Investigations, and they are a veteran-owned organization, and they work with us to review the veteran applications, do some background information for us, and then also our public relations and legal teams are part of that process. So at that point, we have our veterans. So that's that part of the steps. At the same time, in the summer and fall, hundreds of progressive people start getting involved in fundraisers. So we have more than 400 locations across the United States, and we have people throughout that time doing all sorts of activities for fundraising, from bake sales to car washes to all sorts of drives. And it's a really an exciting time, and everyone's so eager to be giving back for this purpose. And employees at our large campuses across the country They support them. Those events are primarily hosted by our customer relations management teams and our centralized claims groups, as well as some business areas like commercial lines organization. And then, in addition to that happening at a company-wide level, we have all of our local claims offices that are near these 60-plus events. They are really excited when they learn about the veteran that they are going to be giving their vehicle to, so that they can get to know them at a personal level, and they do fundraising to provide very specific items that they know that those veterans and their families need. You'll hear more about fundraising efforts a little later in the program, but that's an exciting time for this organization. And so then once the car is ready and the recipient has been selected, at that time, we have progressive research and testing consultants who are in our customer experience group. They work directly with the recipients, and they work to write 6-month progressive policies. And those policies are generously funded by Enterprise. So we thank Enterprise for that, for sure. So at that time, once those consultants, each of those consultants in those groups get about 10 recipients that they reach out to, and they get to know them, they identify the information in order to get policies written for them, and at the same time, they remain in touch with those recipients. So once our recipients today leave, you are going to have these consultants staying connected with you throughout your policy in order to make sure that we're meeting your insurance needs. And then our claims folks at the same time are working with local departments of motor vehicles in order to get the vehicles titled over to the recipients. So all that background work is happening those last few months once we have the recipient identified. For titling purposes, all of our vehicles are gifted through 1-800-CHARITY-CARS, and they serve as the nonprofit entity for us. So then what happens at that point is we're ready to start putting on events like today. There, again, are hundreds of people involved in all of these events happening around the country. From local event organizers, people in our claims groups, audiovisual support folks, progressive facilities and security people at the different locations, and at the same time, our corporate marketing group has many people involved that are producing the event marketing materials that you see at all the events. There's also internal and external communications plans being put together and different assets that are created. And the purpose of that is so that we can share these recipient stories, their amazing stories, with our employees and with consumers. That work is happening as well. Those are the kind of the steps of all the different things and the people that are behind this program. But then, to tell you the truth, the program wouldn't be the success it is without the generous support of some of our national organizations. So right now, I would like to ask Sean Toll from Enterprise and Brian Kaner with Pep Boys to come up and just share a little bit about why their organizations are involved in this program and why it's so special to them.
Thank you, Wanda. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Enterprise, we are so pleased to be part of this incredibly special event for the 7th year in a row. Thank you to our long-term partner, Progressive Insurance, and the many collision centers, local businesses, organizations, and military charities that made today possible. We're proud to be part of this nationwide effort to recognize the great men and women who have served our country. At Enterprise, we believe in giving back to the communities where we live and work. We are at our best when we get to roll up our sleeves and get involved in projects we believe in and that really make a difference. That's why we love being part of this great initiative. Keys to Progress represents 2 of the values that are most important to our company: giving back to our communities and supporting our veterans and members of the military. These values date back to Enterprise's founding. Our rich military heritage began more than 60 years ago when our founder, Jack Taylor, named our company after the USS Enterprise in honor of the aircraft carrier, where he served as a decorated World War II Hellcat pilot. Jack was personally committed to his companies and customers, and his legacy and values lived in our business today, inspiring us to serve our customers the way Jack did every day. A big part of taking is care of the military community. Today we honor our military heritage by providing opportunities to the men and women who served our country. We're extremely proud that more than 10% of Enterprise's U.S. workforce is made up of military veterans or reservists. And as a member of the Military Spouse Employment Partnership, the company also employs more than 2,000 military spouses. But today I'm excited to come alongside our partners and offer another kind of needed support. We know in some cases a reliable vehicle is what stands between a veteran and his or her dreams. Our former military members deserve the opportunity to excel in life. We're determined to prevent any obstacle from standing in their way. Today, more than 100 veterans and their families across the country are being gifted a vehicle. Here with us today are 3 of our veterans who received the keys to a vehicle today through the Keys for Progress. I'd like to give them a round of applause for a moment here. We are honored to offer this token of our appreciation for your service. And for some extra peace of mind, Enterprise and Progressive have partnered to provide 6 months of insurance coverage with every vehicle. We will never come close to giving back to our men and women who have worn the military uniform full measure of what they have given to us. But I hope that you'll accept this as a small token of our gratitude and the sacrifices made to keep our country safe. We appreciate your service. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. So as Wanda said, I'm Brian Kaner. I'm the CEO of Icon Automotive Group, which Pep Boys is actually part of. And I'm proud to be here today and proud that Pep Boys is once again given the opportunity to be an affiliate of for the Keys to Progress program. When I attended this event last year, I saw the impact receiving the vehicles has on these deserving veterans. I made the commitment to expand our program in 2019, and so I'm happy to be here to be part of this amazing program for the second of many years to come. On behalf of the Pep Boys and our 22,000 employees nationwide, I'm pleased to present today's recipients here and across the country with gift cards to assist them with any upcoming automotive needs, as well as emergency kits should the unexpected occur. It makes me so proud that there are Pep Boys representatives at each of the 60, I think there's over 60 events that are happening nationwide, across the nation right now, and our 1,000 locations are actually represented at each one of those events. And for our recipients here in Cleveland, we're excited to have the Pep Boys Mobile Crew, which is a state-of-the-art automotive service trailer out back. And in addition, our partners from Shell are here with their tap-up vehicle to perform final preparation and fueling for all of the refurbished vehicles before each of today's deserving recipients receive their Keys to Progress. Our 1,000 locations all work to be an integral part of their local community, and we view the military veterans in our community as valued neighbors who deserve our support, thanks, and support. In fact, we employ many veterans and are always eager to be part of a new path for veterans transitioning from active service. Each of today's recipients has helped protect our nation and now deserves our support. Thank you to Progressive, the National Auto Body Council, and each of the other Keys to Progress affiliates for making this day possible once again. And most importantly, thank you to today's more than 100 vehicle recipients nationwide and to all those who serve this great nation every day. Thank you so much.
Thanks again to Sean and Brian and their organization. The last organization that I want to recognize is Insurance Auto Auctions. They donate vehicles, as I said, to this program, but they also are giving each of our more than 100 veterans a 12-month powertrain protection plan. So in addition to what you heard through these other national suppliers, that is another gift from one of our vendors. So thank you again for all that you guys are doing. So that's Keys to Progress program in a nutshell. Not a whole lot going on. But I'd like to just again say thank you to all of the people that are in this room and across the country today for everything they do to make this program possible. I appreciate all of your tireless work. But now it's the moment we've all been waiting for, right? It's time for us to meet this year's veteran recipients. So to introduce the first recipient, please welcome Progressive Claims Generalist Dana Wybush to the podium.
Good morning. My name is Dana Wybush with the Cleveland Claims Organization. I'd like to welcome Army veteran Oliver Sanders II to the stage. Oliver joined the United States Army in 1989 as a combat infantryman stationed out of Fort Benning, Georgia. He was then transferred to Fort Stewart, Georgia, where he was assigned to the 24th Infantry Division. In 1990, he was deployed in support of Desert Shield to Basra, Iraq, where he remained until after the start of Desert Storm. After receiving an honorable discharge from the United States Army, Oliver returned home to Michigan and proudly served in the Michigan National Guard. Oliver is very family-oriented, and he is happy to have his mother and sister to share in his adventures. He has a love for sightseeing and discovering new parks in the National Park Service. He is currently working on getting more stamps in his National Parks passport. After his military service, Oliver worked many jobs while attending college, where he proudly graduated from Miami University here in Ohio. He is a freelance sports journalist. By receiving this vehicle today, it will ensure he will be able to not only drive safely with his friends and family to help out in times of need, but it'll also give him the confidence in knowing that he will have reliable transportation to and from work. On behalf of Progressive and all of our partners, I would like to thank Oliver for his years of service. Please join me in congratulating Oliver Sanders II as our first recipient. So, Oliver, let's go check out your new ride.
Oliver Sanders' vehicle was refurbished by Action Car Star Collision Center, located in Euclid, Ohio. Joining Oliver at his vehicle are his family.
Oliver would like to say a few words today.
I thank everybody for this donation. It means a lot to myself, to my family. There's too many words to say before you guys kick me out. So just my congrats and my thanks to everyone. Just know that what you're doing here is a wonderful thing. Pat yourselves on the back, pat each other on the back for your effort and your help, and just know that what you're doing is a good thing for everyone. It's good that there's so many good-hearted people here to do things like this. Keep up the good work for people in need. Again, thank everyone else, and thank yourselves. Treat yourselves to a good lunch or a good beer, so that nature. And thank you again.
Good afternoon. My name is Anna Santamaria, and I am a claims generalist at Progressive. I'd like to welcome David Bowling II to the stage. David is currently a soldier in the Army National Guard after serving our country in the United States Army. David was deployed to Bagram, Afghanistan from 2011 to 2012 in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. We are also happy to have David's wife, Annie, and his 4 children, Caden, Gabe, Nick, and Aubrey, with us today. I'd like to take this time to thank David and his family for their service. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to sit down with David and get to know a little bit more about him. While talking to David, one thing was obvious: the amount of hard work, effort, and love he puts into his job, family, and country is truly amazing. David currently works full-time at Allen Aircraft and part-time as a flight engineer for the Ohio National Guard. David also acts as the liaison for the Family Readiness Group and the Physical Fitness NCO for his unit. As if that isn't enough, David also stays involved with his children's extracurricular activities and sports. Both David and Annie volunteer in their community and with their church. Annie also acts as the Family Readiness Group leader for David's unit. When soldiers and their families are struggling in any way, Annie connects them with resources in the community and personally ensures their needs are being met. Whether it's their kids, community, fellow soldiers, or church, David and Annie put their needs on hold to help others. In David's own words, he said this vehicle will give him peace of mind and eliminate the stress of having to worry about an unreliable vehicle. It will allow him to commute to and from both jobs, transport his children safely, and give his family the confidence to continue helping others. After getting to know David, the tremendous impact this vehicle would have on his family was apparent. What is also apparent is the impact David has made on his family, community, and this country. Please join me in congratulating David as our second Keys to Progress recipient.
David Bowling's vehicle was refurbished by Excalibur Collision, located in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Joining David at his vehicle are his family and special guests.
Okay, if we could get one more round of applause for David, he would like to say a few words.
Thank you, everybody that made this possible today. Thank you to Excalibur, Progressive, everybody that was involved today. This is amazing. About a month ago, I was driving I think it was a 2000 Cavalier that I had just been putting Band-Aids on for about 3 years, and man, I tell you what, happiest and worst day of my life. I come home from a training exercise, and first time I drive it, frame busted. Got this brand new job at Allen Aircraft. I've got all these things going for me. I'm flying at night, and I'm working during the day. I'm working 5 a.m. to midnight to 1 a.m. sometimes. Now I can't make it to either job, so I'm like, borrowing a car, and this right here is definitely a hand up for me and my family. So, you guys have definitely put an extra step in the staircase for me here that helped me all the way to get to the top. This is amazing. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melissa Bosley, and I'm a Claims Generalist Associate here in the Mayfield Branch Office. It's my great honor to welcome our final recipient to the stage. Please welcome John Butsko to the stage. John served in the U.S. Army from 1965 to 1967. He went through basic training in Fort Knox, Kentucky, then was stationed in Pyeongtaek, Korea. From 1966 to 1967, he was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas, then sent to Plaquemine, Vietnam in 1967. He was honorably discharged in 1967 as a Sergeant E5. His greatest accomplishments in his civilian life are his 3 kids, 5 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren, and several members of his family are joining him today. As for his military life, he's proud that he served his country, and by doing so, he learned the true meaning of survival. Because of the condition of his 2003 Ford Ranger, he's missed doctor's appointments at the VA hospital in Cleveland. He's even missed doctor's appointments here in Willoughby because he could not trust his truck to get him there safely. He's had to depend on his family to assist in traveling longer distances. He's had a hard time doing daily activities like bill paying, grocery shopping, and banking. He has grandkids and great-grandkids in Tennessee that he has not seen for close to 10 years because he has no reliable transportation. Sorry. He's looking forward to making that trip. John is also a member of the Fairport Harbor BFW Post 7754 and has served as Senior Vice Commander from 2001 to 2002. He's also looking forward to spending more time with his friends at the post again. On behalf of Progressive's Keys to Progress, all of our partners involved, and all of us here at Progressive Insurance, we are honored to congratulate you as the 3rd Keys to Progress recipient, John. So without further ado, it's time to unveil your car.
John Butsko's vehicle was refurbished by Serpentine Chevrolet Montrose Collision Center, located in Towns, Ohio. Joining John in his vehicle are his family and special guests.
Would like to say a few words on John's behalf. He's going to do it? Okay.
I want to thank everybody, Progressive, every employee, for this day. It's one I'll never forget. I want to thank Steve and Melissa for just letting me be a recipient. I'm honored, and I thank you. And I'd like to thank my past sister-in-law, Karen, for introducing me to this program. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all of our 2019 Keys to Progress recipients. Before our veterans check out their cars more closely, we have two more ways we want to thank them for their service. First, please welcome Sherry Large from Progressive's Customer Relations Management Organization to the stage.
As an organization, Progressive employees raised over $35,000 company-wide across our 6 main locations: Cleveland, Tampa, Austin, Phoenix, Sacramento, and Colorado Springs. These funds are being distributed among all 102 Keys to Progress recipients receiving vehicles. On behalf of all Progressive employees, including those in our claims, commercial lines, and customer relationship management organizations, we would like to thank you for the dedication, service, and sacrifice you have made for our country. To show our gratitude, we're presenting you with a MasterCard gift card close to $350 to use as needed. As a representative of Progressive's Customer Relationship Management Group, we look forward to the privilege of continuing our relationship with you as a Progressive policyholder. We now will serve you to take care of your insurance policy needs and help in any way we can. Thank you.
Again, I'd like to thank you all for attending this wonderful occasion. Today it's all about giving back and serving those who have served us. My favorite description of a veteran is whether active duty, retired, or reserve. A veteran is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to including his or her life. This is one of the most memorable times of year at Progressive, and it makes me proud and honored to see everyone come together for such a great cause. In addition to all the company-wide fundraising that Sherry mentioned, I would like to thank all the employees at our Mayfield, Austintown, Parma, and Akron claims branches, as well as our Central Claims Unit, Subrogation, and Commercial Lines Organization for your time, support, and funding for today's event through our snack cart and soda sales, as well as car washes and other events held throughout the past year. Because of this, we were able to create very special gift baskets for John, David, and Oliver from all of us here in Claims. And finally, I'd like to thank Pep Boys, Enterprise Car Rental, Excalibur Collision, Extreme Auto Body, Action Car Star, and Serpentini Chevrolet for donating some wonderful gift baskets and items for our recipients and their families. We would not be here today if it wasn't for all of our veterans. So to Oliver, John, and David, thank you again for your fearlessness and selflessness, protecting our freedoms, and for protecting this great nation. Thank you.
So to conclude our 7th annual Keys to Progress event, I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this special day and to help us honor these people who have given so much for us. And then I also would ask that we just do one more round of applause for Oliver, David, and John to thank them again for their service and wish them the best. So I'll ask you, actually, please remain standing at this time, and Progressive Marketing Assistant Taylor Trask is going to sing America the Beautiful. And then, if you remain standing, the color guard will retire the colors and then depart. And at that time, the event for this year will be over. Thank you again.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God share